Good night, guys. Can everybody hear me? Okay, awesome. So as usual, let's start with the futures. ES is opening up 275, which is not a big gap up, but it did this higher low here and hold and reclaim the pivot zone, which is that, let me change the setting. When the month is ending, it is easy to capture next month's pivot. So it's 289250, 2894. It hold that very well, but it's still early. We're still early. We still have all night to see what's gonna happen. We do have this little trend line here. Will be the third touch. So we'll see what's gonna happen here. If we can hold, or we're gonna break out. So that's about it. It's probably there's nothing we can check again during the stream what it's doing, but so far it is not doing anything substantial. The only thing I can say is that it's opening above that zone, and it's gonna test this trend line, and then we go from there. The big winner on the futures was natural gas. It did a big gap up so far. Oh, it just fell off. See, that's what I'm saying. When you can't count on futures, the night is very long. So when I checked, it opened right. It was right here. So again, it couldn't hold these levels here. So we'll see. We can check this one again after we are done with the stream. But the good thing about this is that we claim this pivot. Now what it needs to happen is what it didn't happen over here, which we said that we were going to go long if we, oops, we were going to go long if we hold above, reclaim this pivot here, or we're going to wait for dips to these points over here, which will be our buying zones over there. So what happened here is that we reclaimed, but we couldn't hold. We couldn't do the bounce like this, and we came back down. We tested kind of this area here. You guys can see it's right here, weak body. It came retested, and then it pushed back up. So what we need now is that this break needs to hold a back test, either over here or on this higher level here, but it needs to hold over here for us to go higher. We have this pivot from last month at 2429. So that will be a first thing to watch, and then this is the level we've been waiting for, the 2456. So tomorrow, probably you guys and the guys are going to be in play. Just need to find and wait for the direction. Let's see. Let's check gold. Okay, so this was very nice. We were trading in the chat room when gold was doing this movement. I believe that's when we got calls in the chat room. It was a queue that called. We couldn't hold this zone, just the same as natural gas, and we bounce on the next bottom zone, which was the next support. That was just a perfect bounce. If you had our zones from the last streams, you could have bought this dip here and had a nice huge win here. So what's happening now is that we just backtest here last Friday, on a Friday looks like. So now we need to hold here. I would say no lower than this 1336.10, but I would really like it to hold this little zone here between the quarterly and the monthly pivot, and then we can try that move higher. I don't know if it's gonna have that impulsive that much like once, but if we do like something like this, I'll be happy either way. So let's see where will be the next. Oh, maybe it's going from the yearly. The yearly is right there at 1380. So another 20 points up from this level. Let's see. Okay, let's mark here. I'm marking this pivot here where it had this previous high. I want to see if there is anything else. 1360. I'll mark over here this pivot zone here just to see where it is. So I'm marking this quarterly pivot here. If you can see, it has everything over here, so it's interesting. Oh, that's a funny. That's so funny. Do you guys think that's a coincidence right there? That was. I really didn't know. I really didn't know that was gonna be the level because I didn't during the week I didn't analyze gold, but that was very funny. So what did I do? I went to the nearest past, and we had this quarterly pivot here, and which also has this tops from the short-term past on it here over here that couldn't hold above it. So I thought it was an interest level to mark because it's a quarterly pivot, so it's the top two most strong pivot that we have. So, and just like that, that was the top from this candle here. The candle was 1362.20 and the pivot is 1362.10. So that's very funny. So that's why I rejected. I wish we had somebody had requested this. We probably would have nailed that top over there. Grab a long on JDST or short JNUG. That would be a nice, very nice move over there. So that's going to be a big question now, because now we know that's a fourth time that we have been rejecting that. Now, if you check the monthly chart, let me turn off my pivots just so monthly. Let's turn off the quarterly. Let's just leave the yearly pivots. So as you guys can see, this pivot that I marked right now is just also all these rejections, this retest. See, went above, went below, retested, push up. This one here, retest here and rejected, rejection, rejection, rejection. So this is a big deal level. The 1362.10 is going to be a big level. And it was also this yearly. It's not exactly the yearly because let's zoom in a little bit. The pivot, the yearly pivot is at 1360.60, but it's close enough. So yeah, that's a big level. That's a very important level. If you trade gold, you should have that line in your chart, 1362.10. Let's see if this time we can break. I posted a monthly chart and in the chat room earlier, and there is this uptrend. Oops, that was a very bad uptrend. But we have this one. Now, why I don't trade I don't pay attention to much. I'm not a trend trader because I think it's very subjective. I think trends are subjective. You can mark anywhere you want. If I mark over here, for example, from this point to this point, is this a retest, reject, and have more downside, for example? Are we going to go down from here because it's rejecting this trend line again? Or are we going to break above the trend line? Is this really, it was a trend line before. If you remove here and we don't have any of this happening, this was a trend line market here, here, over here, over here, and then we broke under, and now we are retesting for the second time. So that's why I'm not a big fan of trading trend lines. I'm more a horizontal trader. And so I trade the pivots because it can be a subjective. But this for me is a very clear trend line. If you don't have everything happening over here, you would have this trend line if you're a trend line trader. This was a big, important trend line because it was squeezing on that top. See, it's trying to go squeeze the top. It didn't squeeze, it broke under. And now we're back retesting the trend line, which is again, how they call, crossing together with that level, 1362.10. So it's going to be a big achievement for gold to break above that. That would be very interesting to see. And if we break above that, we're going to have the yearly pivot for this year, and which is also going to be some weeks over there, right there, a rejection over there. But it's going to be interesting. If you break this, we can see maybe an impulsive move, maybe to this 1395, because this is a more consolidation zone for me than just the weeks over here. You have just these weeks, although you have this yearly pivot. But let's say we test it, break and go. This would be the big level over here, the 1396, because of all this over here. Now let's go back to the 4-hour. That was an interesting. I really didn't notice that before, this pivot. That's interesting. Let me put back, where are my pivots? Let's put back the monthly and the quarterly pivots. Okay. So that would be nice if we can do a higher low over here on this zone, and then we push through, then we can contest again that and see if we're gonna break. But if you saw on the highest monthly, it may be a bearish situation. But if we keep doing this higher lows over here and keep squeezing again against that wall, maybe we break it. So let's keep watch this and see how it develops. Okay, so gold, oil. We are holding our swing trader and many members. Dave is holding UWT. We call all the zones over here. Everything is going as planned. This was the first target, and this was the other target that we had that was going to be hard to break. We grabbed it around, it was around here. David, I think he grabbed it on this push. And so we rejected the first time. We did a double bottom over here. Now, is this going to hold? That's the question. Is retesting, it couldn't hold above and retesting under, and kind of give a little rejection. We kind of give a little rejection over here on the bottom, from the bottom up on the zone, on the next pivot level. So I wonder if we're gonna sell off. So push through. What happened is that we retested, we couldn't hold. Now we're doing that classic retest to go lower pattern. Now it's still early, just like the other indexes. It's a little bit earlier. Overnight, we're gonna see tomorrow how it reacts, but as of right now, it looks like a rejection. So we'll see. We can go through again all of the index real quick and futures, but we'll see what happens. For more upside, we really need to recover above this 50 to 77. Now below, if we lose this again, then I'll be looking to dip buy over here on this zone, which is, okay, let me change this again. You guys gonna see me doing this a lot during the stream. It's gonna be 49.44, 49.62. And that's where we're going to dip buy in case we lose this 51.25. You can also, if you like to short or just go long DWT, that's an option to short UWT or go long DWT. I know some people are still doing the silver. So when we was here, we talk about silver, that it had to break and hold above this area. We did a retest here, hold, went to the next zone, push through, couldn't hold. And if you were watching, you could have dip buy this for this amazing move. We couldn't hold it again. And let's see. Yeah, it has a little, it's not a pivot. Only we can try to find a pivot right now, but don't want to prolong it too much. We have this big pivot at 14 over here, but I don't know if it's gonna be substantial. We have this pivot here. I'm marking this pivot. It has many interactions to it. Okay. So we can put that as a line in the sand if you want. If you want to mark a zone on it, you can grab this consolidation over here, over here, over here, all this battle over here and over here. So you can have this, if you're long, you can have this as a maybe something to watch. Okay. So let's go for the tickers. I know everybody's talking all weekend about Facebook. So let's check Facebook. Facebook this is the key level, key zone, resistance zones to break, which is 183.60, 184.47, which is this month main monthly pivot and quarterly pivot at 184.47, which is going to create a nice little zone. If you can see earlier, it had all this no man's land. That's what I call when you have no direction. That's exactly what Shorthammer calls a swing door, where you don't know what's going to happen up or down. We have to make a decision from when it's inside of the zone. So that's where we are going right now. We're probably going to see a gap up if the markets cooperate. Even if the markets open red, Facebook may be open up because of the news that we have on Facebook. So those are the main levels to watch. You're gonna have some trouble over here as well because of the last month's main pivot right there, about around 186.37. Okay, let's see. The main weekly is at 178 all the way down. So it's already gonna open a little bit overextended on the week. Where is the other weekly pivot? 184. Oh, that's funny. So the next weekly pivot, coincidentally, is the quarterly pivot. It's going to be the same level, almost 184.49. The quarterly is at 184.47. So yeah, this is going to be right here. It's going to be our main resistance. And if our zone is below here. But I'm counting this as resistance because sometimes you have the overshooting. For example, let's say Facebook is coming hot, right? It's coming hot, like everybody's buying. Then it gets here, people buying, pushing, but then does like this, does that overshooting, and then retraces a little bit. So that's why I like to keep an eye on this near buy pivots. So if it's this first time you're on the stream, the blue pivots are the monthly, the purple pivots are quarterly, the brownish pivots are yearly, the gray pivots are the weekly pivots, and the color ones are the green, yellow, and red ones are the day pivots. So the main pivot is the yellow one for the day. So this is our main zone for tomorrow. Trading above it, it's the bullish tone for the stock on the day. So as you guys know, Facebook has been selling a little bit, right? So this is an example. Facebook is still bearish on the month, although it's pulling back because it's below the monthly main pivot. So tomorrow we're probably gonna have that sentiment. Is it gonna still keep that bearish sentiment for the month, or are we gonna turn into bullish, right? So that's why that's a very important level. This is the main monthly pivot. So for the remaining of the month, are we gonna stay bearish or are we gonna go bullish? So that's the question we're gonna have answered on the next couple of few days, this week, most likely. Okay. So let's assume Facebook is probably gonna be gapping up on these levels, right? So it needs to push and hold, and then we're going to retest at 186. So if Facebook gap up, Facebook over here, so this $1 gap is nothing for Facebook. So let's assume Facebook is gapping up inside the zone. It's going to need to hold over here and then push, back test, and then push. That would be the normal movement on the stock. Yes, you can see those crazy vertical moves, but this is you want a healthy move so you can have a continuation. If this just pushes through over here, I will expect a strong pullback. How much? $2 pullback at least if we see a strong move to this level here. So you don't want that. You want to have a gradual, healthy wave move to there. It's still gonna reject, I think. That's usually what happens, is a rejection on the first touch. So we're still gonna see a rejection, but maybe we don't see that sell-off, that strong impulse down. Maybe we see just a rejection over here, and then we keep, doing that healthy consolidation, and then push through, and then do like this. So Facebook is bullish because of the news tomorrow, right? So that's what we keep on watch for the pullbacks to go long. If we have a pullback to 181.79, watch that. The main day pivot is also a great level to dip buy bullish stocks. So watch that. Is let me see, 180.63, 181.06, the zone. So watch for that. Okay. Okay, guys, send me your tickers if you have any. Let's start rock and roll there. Let's check. There was a stock. CGC. I was checking it out, CGC today. So this is what happens. CGC has earnings upcoming. When is it? On the 20th, which is Thursday. So we were trading below the quarterly pivot. Once it reclaimed, we're looking for a hold on to buy. We hold over here, so we go long, we hit the main monthly pivot and reject. So if you went long, you have to take your partials over here. What we always preach and teach is that you take partials on the next resistance zone and then ride the rest either for a break even or a mid level stop loss. It's up to you. Usually I take 75% off and then ride the rest for a stop break even and to try to catch that bigger move. So now we're back to it. The question is, are we going to hold? So we are watching this again. Let's see if we can do that, another impulsive move. Now it has been bearish, so you have to be careful. What I can see happening if we don't have any catalyst to push this through is probably I'm marking this pivot, and I'm going to mark this pivot over here. It's probably going to see something like this. Bounce, then we're going to do a lower high here, and then we're going to go down if we don't have any catalyst. The problem is that we have these earnings coming, so it's going to be interesting to see. If that happens, you're going to see all those pattern traders jumping in on this head and shoulders formation on the 4-hour. Left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. So we'll see what's going to happen. So as of now, I'm watching this level here for long if it holds, or for short to ride down to 36.30 on the way down. Okay, we have a level there. See, that's why it's good to always look back. This is going to be an interesting level as well. Mark over here. So we're going to watch this zone, first target. You can also have a first target on these lows here. So from 40.50 to 38.50, that's 2 points. Take some here and then see if you can write it down. The main yearly pivot is at 34.29, which will be very nice to see. Now let's see what's the expected move on CGC. So far is expected $3.17 move on this week, on the earnings week. So if we move $3 from here, that's about right over here on that zone. So that's counting is going to be right here. So if we have bad earnings, we're probably going to overshoot to this pivot at 34.35. And if we get good earnings, we're probably going to overshoot maybe to 47 to 47.85. If we can, the main monthly pivot is going to be the rough area on CGC. So depending on where it's trading on earnings, we can just see a overshoot on this pivot, which would be ideal for the bullish. So we're probably going to see a 47, 48 overshoot on CGC if we had very good earnings. Intraday. Let's see. So this week's main pivot at 41.93, which adds another layer of resistance to that 42.14 we had. So yeah, so as of now, it's confirming that we have a bearish tone on the CGC. It needs to break above 41.93 for the week to turn to bullish. So that's something to watch as well. If you're looking to short, watch that level, watch the zone here, and watch the main pivot. If we have a gap down and then we test and can't hold, that could be a nice entry to ride to 39.70, sorry. Okay, let's check CYBR. Okay, So we are retesting this monthly main pivot. That's a key level for CYBR. We'll change this again. It's 130.03. So you can say 130. It's gonna be the key support on this is gonna be the line in the sand. The main weekly pivot is at 130.63. So we're gonna have, let me actually change this a little bit so you can see. There you go. Let me actually 21st. Okay, so the is back testing this and it needs to hold. It had so many weeks rejection over there, which is kind of concerning a little bit. But so far is on a bullish territory. It's doing a retest of this reclaim because it went down here. Now reclaim is back testing. So the key zone for this is gonna be 130.63, 130.03. So this is the key support level, which is gonna be our line in the sand. So that's what you have to keep an eye on it. It really needs to hold. If we can't hold this, we're probably gonna see us a very, maybe something like this. And then we're gonna do a stair wave down. With 126.98 being the next target. If we hold, then we're gonna retest this top again, which is the weekly 133.95. So we're gonna add another layer of resistance there that it needs to break. So we might as well see just another week the way we're doing this if we can break it. On the day is gonna be bullish only above 130, 113. So keep in mind that until it breaks that above and hold, it's still on a bearish tone for the day. Okay, let's see what else. Qualcomm. I'm gonna mark this pivot here. I'm actually going to change this for, just want to see if we had any reactions on this candle to that pivot. When is this? This is a month ago, 2 months, so 90 days is enough. Let's put a 5-minute. Still loading. Okay. So when was that? Right? No, it was not that one. Trying to find it. Where's that line item? Right here, 65, I think. Okay. Yeah. See that? See how fun it is? That was that pivot, and it was just a big candle up. And we have that reaction to it, 65.07. That's funny how it is. You couldn't see that on the 4-hour, but that's important. It did respect the pivot on that push up. So that's a strong level for us. Let's go back to the 4-hour. So I'm wondering, what are you doing? We had that trend line up that we draw last week. What was it? I don't remember. I think it was like this. I don't remember where we marked that trend line. But right, if it was there right now, it's retesting under, broken under. I think it was a little higher than this though. I think it was, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was right here. I think it's right here. I remember we had this week. So yeah, this is going to be a puzzle. We almost had that touch on the target. That's why we scale out on push, because we never know if it's going to get there. Anyways, next week is 69.61 is the main weekly pivot. We need to break above that for a bullish week. The day zone is let me see, 68.44, 68.58. So we need to hold pullbacks to that zone for a move higher. Something like that. Let me see one thing. So where we close on this empty candle over here. Let me see the level 2 real quick. 68.50 by 68.88. Okay. So 68.50 by 68.88. So it will be around, it's gonna probably be around here, and then do a back test and do like this. So we need to hold this. We can grab dips if you hold here for a write up, maybe retest of 69.62. If you were long on it already, it needs to hold no lower than 67.76, which was last week's main pivot. Any dips below that, we can just see more downside and test that 66.87 and go from there. But as of now, if we hold over here, we can, if you don't have a position, you can grab and go long with stop loss right below it. Or if you want to stop loss, just put a 67, maybe 67.60. But I would not hold from here to here, because that's like a point drop. Mostly if you're in stocks. If you're on options, maybe you can hold if it's a long dated one. It depends all of your risk management. But looking for dips tomorrow. If we hold here, go long. DIS. Yeah, so I was watching DIS a few minutes before the stream. So we cut the bottom, like it's just perfect dips on the pivot zone, which was this here. It did a perfect dip over there many times for nice swings up. We broke through above this resistance, and then we back test this month's main pivot, which is 133.59, and then we pushed up. Now, what we're doing here is that what we need to do here is consolidate and hold these levels, which exactly didn't happen last time. We were on this impulsive move and we couldn't hold the back test, which made us having a wave down. So right now what we need to do, it was this, we pushed, now we need to hold this back test for a move higher. So that's the key. Disney needs to hold this back test for a move higher, or we can see happen the same thing as the last time. Now, you can arguably say that this may be a support level because of the swing high, and yes, it could be. So if you are long and you want to give a little bit of room, if you're gonna give a little bit of room, at least give it to this zone over here, and see if it can hold for another swing high. Now, if it holds, you need to keep an eye on this back test, right? Because what was support becomes resistance. So you need to watch if it dips over here. If it dips here and pushes, watch for this to break above it. It needs to. If it goes over here and pulls back, you don't want it to go any lower than 140.49, in my opinion. So if it dips to 138.82, 139.64, watch for the push to 141.26, a pullback to 140.49, and then we'll move higher if we hold there. Now, let me print screen this real quick so I want to erase this, but I want to save the lines so we can compare, because this is going to be on top of the candles, and I want to trade Disney tomorrow. It's going to be annoying to have this. So that's saved. We can compare later. Okay. So the main weekly is at 139.81. So which confirms this could be a deep level. Oh, here, so let's extend a little bit to include the weekly pivot. But ideally, I really wanted just to hold this top zone here. Push next target would be the 144.79 for swing trading, then 147.93, and ultimately the next monthly pivot at 148.83, and that big number at 150, which also has that quarterly pivot at 150.35. Let me check the chat real quick. So KMX has earnings this week. And is on all-time high, I think. I think that's what I was told. Yes, it's on all-time high. Man. I remember when I was drawing these zones here. Look what it is right now. Oh my gosh. Ah, that's a 30 points move almost. That's amazing. That's why we can't forget to put alerts on price points, because there's so many tickers that you follow. So I marked this zone here, which was, let me delete it, which was this quarterly pivot here. So I mark it to watch for dips, but I never put a price alert, and I obviously miss an incredible swing on this. Just point above. See this first reaction? That's what I'm usually say. It first touches usually doesn't go through. Only if it has a very strong catalyst near. For example, let's say the catalyst for CarMax was when CarMax was trading here. Then we can see a push through on the first, but you already had that strong swing up to that pivot. So first reaction was a rejection. You never buy on near strong pivots on the way up there. If it's above and hold, yes, but if it's on the way up there, don't wait for pullbacks, right? So it pull back and give us awesome entries one too many times over there. Could have got in long and right all the way up. Now see, this is the daily pivot. Just the second time was easier to do it. We also had that earnings right there when it was trading around here. So now, interesting, very interesting, is at all-time high. I wonder if it's gonna have a pullback or run into earnings. If you wanna short this, of course, watch for this high. The high of is at 84, and watch for the support at 82.18. If you try to short the top, that will be the first target. You have also the main weekly at 82.63. So that's going to be interesting to see if we're gonna have a pullback to these levels, either the main weekly or this monthly pivot. Watch the main day zone 83.29, 83.40. If we hold, we close right there. If we hold this pullback here, you can try to go long. First target will be this previous high and previous pivots over here. And then we start scaling out as when we approach the next pivots. So it's first start scaling out at this level here, 83.80s, and then scale more out at 84.20. And if we hold, then we're going to retest 84.75. Now, if we pull back here, will be even nicer pullback for us, holding 82.17. If we grab over here, the first partial will be the weekly pivot, 82.65, and then we see if we break and hold. If we break and hold, then we see if we can take another partial around 83. That's if you're bullish. If you're bearish, you just grab on rejections of the key pivots, which is the main zone, the weekly, and the monthly. We have GE. Marking this pivot over here has so many. After that, I had so many reactions. Marking last month's main pivot. So I'm marking these two pivots. This is what? April's main pivot, May main pivot. So it creates a little zone there. I'm trying to see. Yeah. Just checking which one has more touches. I like this one better. It had over here, this. It has over here, all this, and rejection. So if you're long on GE, I really would like to have to hold this zone over here as support, and then push back up the monthly pivot. So do something like this, back test, up, then push. Now the main target will be this 1120. That would be a fantastic move if we can get that. There's so many resistance to until it gets there, but it can be done. You just need to keep holding support levels and breaking through resistance. Yeah, kind of like this mid-level here. So many little things. So let's see. Okay, so our main weekly is at 1024. So this is going to be a strong support. We just need to stay above it. If we can stay above, then it's going to be a strong resistance. So watch for dips here. The main day is at 1025. So we have multiple layers of support over here that we need to hold. 1024 by 1026. So it's right above over here. It's right above this this support zone. We wanted to keep it that way, and then we can start climbing up on the week. First target of the week will be 1050, which is also that previous high from last week. So that's going to be something to watch. But to remain bullish, it needs to hold over here, in my opinion. Or we can just see another pullback, which is not a bad thing, but we just wanted to move more in the consistent wave up. But if we go back down here, it's still fine, 1005. But just keep in mind, this now is going to be resistance. But on a long-term view, it still could be okay, because you have all this that was support, then resistance, then support. Now we need to keep being support for it to go up. See what else. So many things people are talking about. Let me check any video real quick. Yeah, so NVDA is on a key point right now. We have that 4-hour trend line, and we need to hold this base. So that's still on watch. We couldn't push through just yet. So our 142.25 to 144.14 zone is still on play. It really needs to hold for a try to break this downtrend, this 4-hour downtrend. This is happening since April 22nd. So to break this trend line, we need to keep holding this zone. That's going to be a good play this week, either long or short. We should see a big impulsive move once it makes a decision. The main weekly pivot is at 146.61. So right about here, which, if you can see, that also a price action zone. So that's going to be important. So let's see, we hold here our first target. If we go long and if this holds, is going to be that level 146.61. If we don't hold that, first target 140.86 and then 137 would be the next target. Yeah. I wonder if this is going to hold or not. This is a very interesting. I have been following NVIDIA for a couple weeks already. So I really want to see if it's going to hold this. This is the key level for me right here. What I was checking a few tickers. Let me see. CGC, Costco. So Costco is all at all-time high. We have the line in the sand, which is this pivot change. The 259.17 pivot is going to be the line in the sand. And then the 256.44, but this needs to hold. It kind of did on the first back test. So what it needs is it just need to keep holding for over here. So this was this first part here, and we push through. Now we need to break above what is this 261.20, so we can see this move happen. If we can't hold this, if you like to short, wait for the back test. If we have one, I always like to see the back test to fail, and then the move down. The first target would be the quarterly pivot at 256.44, and if we can't hold that, you see, I know we had a high over here, I think. No, we didn't. It was Walmart. So if we don't hold here, we're probably gonna go to 251.11. So that will be the first to see. We have this pivot here from April, and we have reactions on last month based on this pivot from April, and then we confirm as a level this month. So that's something to watch. If we break this, we may see a 251.11. So okay. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a nice impulsive move either up or down. So we are always interested on those. The main weekly pivot at 259. So confirming that this is a must hold zone. So this is a must hold zone over here. 259.04, 259.17. That's going to be the line in the sand and the key support for this week. So hold, we go long, break and retest, and fail, we go short. That's the plan. So put price alerts on those points. Next, let's check AGN. Oh wow, AGN is on a perfect level. Okay. Let's see. 5 years. Good Lord, when it was here? Okay. Let's see, 10 years. This is 115.92. Okay. Way back there. So interesting on this section. No, that's way down. It's 115. So it's here. This is what we're it's important to us. We have this 119. Let me mark this so I can check if it's something over there. So it has a little zone. We have this yearly pivot, 114.03. Mark this quarterly. Okay, let's put 4 hour again. All right, so we're testing the quarterly pivot. It needs to hold. If we can hold this, we can try to debuy it. That's very interesting, being at the weekly pivot and had all this strong move down from the main yearly pivot. Failed the main monthly, and it's testing over here. That's very interesting. This was a very strong sell. Look at this candle from 120 to 116. That's a $4 candle. Change again. So the 115.25. If we, I'm wondering if this, I'm not sure if this 114 is going to be important, or we're just going to go straight to the 112. So if you want to dip buy, keep it tight. If it breaks below the quarterly pivot, you cut it, because then you can get it cheaper, either at 114 or 112.46. Where is the main weekly? The main weekly is all the way up near that other level, 119.81, 119.94 that we marked. This is also going to be, well, yeah, don't try to find a trend. If it doesn't hold the pivot, then just cut it, right? So the plan will be dip buy on the pivot, showing some support. First target would be the 117.34, where we're going to take partial. You can even take a partial at 116.26, depending on where, if that makes you any $1 move. If that's depending on the strike you get, is maybe that's not too much, but watch for that. This level here, 116.24, and then the main daily 117.36. So if we hold here, if we can hold this pivot, maybe we see a test of this pivot at 117.34, where we're going to take a first profit, and then we see if we break and hold. Maybe we do something like this and then back test this level here, right here, and then we see a push through if we find some strength. If we can't hold this, then we're going to retest 113.84, 114.03, and ultimately we're going to test the monthly pivot at 112.46. If we break and hold above this main pivot, this is going to be the rough area, 119.81, 119.94. So that's if you want to take more profits there, you can as well. What else? I think I was checking Walmart. Okay. So Walmart is not in the all-time high. Yeah, the all-time high is 109.99. Is that it? Yeah. So right about around here. We held the back test to the yearly pivot, which is great. And we wanted to keep it that way. If you are long, keep an eye on this level as well. I marked this previous month pivot because it clearly the algos use that as a level over there. So maybe watch for pullback over here and a push through. Watch for the quarterly pivot. That's going to be the key resistance. I'll give you the quarterly pivot is a 110.32. So watch for that 110.32 zone. If we break and hold that, then we may go for the next monthly pivot. But we'll see. It really needs to hold. The downside line in the sand is 108.16. So it really needs to hold 108.16 for a move higher. The main weekly is at 108.34, which is going to form a zone with that yearly pivot. So that's definitely the downside line in the sand. That just confirms it. We really need to hold this. So watch for dips to hold for it to go long. Right now it's bullish, so there is no reason to fight the trend. It's only going to become bearish if we break the pattern. So watch for dips into this zone 108, 108.34, 108.61, or 109 if we can hold there. Where is the 109 by 1915? So the bid is around on the main pivot. So if we hold above it, do a retest, watch for the retest, hold support. If it does hold support, you can take along with targets on the next pivots. Ultimate target is at 110.32, then we're gonna see what happens from there. If we confirm downside, the first target will be 107.10 and then the 106.53. Yeah, I did cover CGC, but let's check again real quick. So what we talk about CGC is that is back testing. Is back testing this quarterly pivot, right? So it needs to hold for a move higher. So what we're talking about is that since it's downtrending, we need to be careful. It can bounce from here and then retest this mid zone and do a lower high and then do a push down. So if you want to short, either you watch for a 40.49 break and retest and go down, or you wait for this impulse to the 42.14.54, watch for a short pattern over at that area to grab it short. So those will be the two levels I will look at. If for some reason it breaks above, just cut your loss because it's probably gonna retest the monthly pivot once more. You can always re-enter if it doesn't go quite there. You can always re-enter. For you had cut it for a very minimal loss, so it will not matter. But those are the levels to watch for short. Right now, it's a long until it holds this for over here. So if somebody takes long, this is the first target, and then we go from there. Let me see if I Costco. Okay, what I was gonna do, I'll check the IPOs, right? Let's check the IPOs real quick. Fiverr, that was nasty sell-off. So now we have the quarterly pivots as well. Not quarterly, the weekly pivots. The main weekly pivot is 33.76 for Fiverr. So it's trading below it. As of now, it's bearish until it breaks above this zone here. So if we retest over here and can't hold, we may see another leg down. If we go up and retest this area, straight up and retest here, watch for this level, if it's gonna hold or not. If it holds, it's just gonna do like this. Now, if it doesn't hold, it's probably gonna do like something like this, then retest, and we're gonna have that next leg down like this. So there are multiple scenarios. If we break and hold above, then the next target would be the 40.33, 41.93. So that's what you have to keep in mind. We have CHWY, CWHY, I think. No, CWHY, yeah. Okay, so I did a Fibonacci retracement on Friday because we didn't have any levels. I just want to see how it reacts. I don't trade out of fibs, but it was kind of pretty good. I did it from here to the top, and then we have the retest on this fib, retest on this fib, retest on this fib. So you could have taken multiple shorts on their way down. Now I'm gonna remove it. We have our pivots for Monday. Main pivot's 36.30, needs to break above for a test of 39.92. If it doesn't break above it, we're gonna retest this low. If we break that low, actually this is a better level over here. Let me mark. If we break this 33.50, we're most likely we're gonna break this low over here. If we break that low, we're gonna test 31.25. So that's something to watch as well. If you don't trade CFDs, you probably can't short it just yet, and probably doesn't have any options. And it's just one day, no. So if you want to go long, watch for break above this 36.36, which is going to be the key zone for the week, and or a hold on the 33.52. If we back test this and hold, then it may be a good long, at least to that pivot. We had another one, a cyber something. Let me check real quick. I know Dave was talking about that. Cybersecurity. One second. CRWD. CRWD. So that one is in a better shape than CHWY. It looks like it could be that wave movement. So went down, up, retest here, and maybe do another leg up. So this week, main weekly is at 63.65. which is around over here, which is going to be a nice support area. So watch for dips there to hold. If it holds, we can get long on it. If we gap up for any reason, watch for pullbacks to this zone for move up. If we gap above this and we reject here, watch for the dip, and if it holds, we can go long. Now, if we gap down, we don't want to go long until it reclaims this pivot. If you want to scalp it, scalp from the other lower pivots. You have to be quick on scalps, take 75% on a move up, and then break even on the rest. But it looks good. I like CRWD. Maybe it has options already. CRWD. No, I'll check tomorrow again. Maybe it did. The CBOE didn't update it yet. Anything else you guys wanted me to check? Amazon. So Amazon needs to hold above this zone here. So far, it's doing a good job. It's just need to. It looks like a flag over here, but it needs to resolve to the upside. The next zones will be the 1894, 1902, and ultimately the main goal for bulls is to break and hold 1916. So we can test that. If we break below the 1831.74, 1837, we're most likely gonna retest this 1805, 1798 area. The main weekly pivot, it's at 1860, so that's the level to hold for a bullish week. No lower than 1850. Yeah, remembering this week we have the FOMC. I believe it is on Wednesday. So that's something to keep an eye on. Let's check real quick where we are with the futures. Let's see who stay in place. Didn't do much. So far, it looks like you rejected again. So let's keep an eye on that. Yeah. If you can stay above this 239.5 will be very nice. We'll see tomorrow. All right, guys, if you guys don't have any other tickers you wanted me to check, I wish everybody that is a dad or future dad a happy Father's Day. And everybody has a dad also. Send them my happy Father's Day. And thank you very much for participating. I see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. on the pre-market. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.